Police as well as correctional officers who are on the front lines of South Africa's battle against gender-based violence are now confronting a new disturbing reality, the fact that many are victims of gender-based violence as well as femicide themselves. Now, the Police and Prison Civil Rights Union, or POPCRU, has condemned the systematic abuse with criminal justice cluster, revealing alarming cases of harassment, prejudice and abuse perpetuated by leaders that are meant to actually uphold the law. Now, Provincial Chairperson Zamani Mathiso is calling for the removal of officials accused of fostering a culture of silence and retaliation, and he joins us now to further deliberate on this matter. Zamani, thank you so much for your time. So, welcome. So, this is very concerning, right? I mean, especially if we are looking at those that are tasked with upholding the law, actually being the ones that are breaking it. Just how rampant is this type of behavior among our police force, Zamani?
Thank you, Charlie, for allowing us to be on your platform. We want to raise this particular issue, that it's 16 days activism that speaks to issues of GBV. We had just a march today that went to the office of the area commissioner at correctional services. Look, we are highlighting the awareness that is happening around employees that are employed by correctional services. This epidemic, it continuously increases in this particular province under the leadership of the regional commissioner, which is your regional commissioner Moodley. But specifically, it mostly occurs around the Kimberley management area, where the abuse of power takes place, where the area commissioner abuses power. He becomes the area commissioner. He becomes the center head. It just becomes a production work. Because what happens here, workers are ill-treated, they are harassed by the area commissioner. There's nothing really that workers can do. So we decided to bring this awareness campaign to the Northern Cape, which was led by gender coordinators. So it speaks to harassment and the abuse of power, where employees within this particular sector, especially at correctional services, they are not protected. Was by a woman that leads the region. We don't know what is the hold that the area commissioner of Kimberley management is having against the regional commissioner. But in a serious note, workers, especially female workers, they are abused in this particular management area. So that's why we took this particular program to this particular province. But it was a joint program between Free State, Northern Cape as its one region.
All right. Zamani, if I can just ask you before we continue with our interview, I'm missing the top of your head there on my screen. If you can just move back a little bit so that we can see you fully on the screen. But I mean, surely as a union, Zamani, you have dealt with and received plenty of such complaints from your members, right? What does this picture look like? Is the GBV being experienced at the police stations by officers in relationships amongst themselves? Please help us understand what exactly the situation is under these circumstances.
Look, this is a crisis, a serious crisis in a nutshell, that we experience, especially at corrections. That's why we took this particular awareness campaigns to corrections. Mm-hmm. You'll get senior managers that intimidate workers, harass workers, promising them that for them to have the upward mobility, for them to progress within the positions or levels or ranks within the correctional services. The ordinary workers or production workers must be able to do favors for them and sleep with them. Or else, if they don't do that, the first thing that they'll get is to be harassed within the working environment. They get suspended. others get dismissed. So it means this is a serious case that the workers within this particular region of Free State, Northern Cape, they are experiencing. And it becomes so worse when shop stewards that represent these workers, they raise these issues. Our shop stewards, they get also suspended and get intimidated by the area commissioner and the cabal that is surrounding the area commissioner.
Zamani, we're going to have to leave it there, unfortunately, because of time. But thank you so much. I'm hoping we can continue this discussion as we continue observing the 16 days of activism starting on the 1st of December. Mr. Zamani Mathiso, POPCRU Northern Cape Chairperson.